Scott, why don't you get us started here? Let's start with Lizards, Rattlers, offense. Who's got the edge?
Well, I'm going to go with offense to the Lizards here. I think the importance of a player like Rob Pannell can't be understated. With how well he played in that game against Chesapeake, what was it, 9 points? 7 goals, 2 assists, 9 points.
5 goals in the first half.
Exactly. Breaks his own points record for MLL single season. I think just they're rolling all of a sudden now. We had talked about all year inconsistency. They found consistency now. Back here with Davey, set to talk about the Bayhawks and Lizards game on Saturday night. Now Chesapeake obviously has already clinched their home playoff game. The Lizards win and they're in. A loss, again, they could still make it if Atlanta loses as well. Now let's talk about Chesapeake first. They've obviously just clinched that playoff spot, a huge win last weekend over Denver. And when I talked to Dave Cottle yesterday on Press Pass, I kind of, asked that question you got to ask. Are you going to rest players? Right. Are you going to try to, I don't want to say not play to win, but just kind of take care of yourself? And he made the quote of, we owe it to the other teams fighting for the playoff spots, the fans, the league, to really play to the highest standard. So you being a player in the league, how does that make you, how do you react to that? So now being joined by Travis Eldridge, who is down in Baltimore at the IMLCA Coaches Convention. And Travis, we've heard from a lot of people about the possibility for lacrosse to be in the Olympics, a provisional recognition now for 3 years. And your time down in Baltimore, what have you heard from people associated with the game and kind of their thoughts on the potential for lacrosse getting to the Olympic level?
Scott, I think the overall thought is that it's a good thing. I mean, hey, it is the largest stage essentially in sports for basically everything with the exception of football and the Super Bowl. But when you think of the Olympics, there was one coach who said in particular, people get excited about swimming and curling, things that people don't care about every year, but every 4 years it becomes a really, really big deal. And so he was saying, look, if lacrosse can have that type of recognition, that's a great thing for our sport because you're going to get people excited about it.
Happy to be joined by Callie Hartshorn of the Maryland Terrapins. And Callie, heading into obviously a big weekend, the national quarterfinals against Denver. I want to talk about you specifically first, though. Great draw control specialist, over 120 on the season. If you had an ideal situation to win a draw control, how are you drawing it up? What are you doing to win if you had the control of the situation all the time? Now, of course, Maryland, a historic program, Kathy Reese, so many championships to her name as your head coach. What can you say about playing for her, playing for Maryland, the program, and what that means to you, and kind of what the game of lacrosse means to that whole community in College Park?
Yeah, so coming here on my recruiting trip, I knew right from meeting Kathy I wanted to be here.
One of the exciting things that could happen, of course, it could be many years down the road if the sport ends up in the Olympics, is then participation at a younger level you would think would increase because now kids will grow up, they'll watch the Olympics, they'll see lacrosse, they'll want to play that sport, and you could see numbers grow eventually if lacrosse ends up being a true Olympic sport.
And it's not only just at a younger level, but we had coaches talking about different countries. And maybe this opens up recruiting to outside of the United States and Canada. Who knows? Maybe coaches are going to have to go to Europe to find the next great player or scoop up a couple of guys from different countries that may not normally be coming to the United States to play college lacrosse. But maybe in this small-sided game, those skills can translate to the field game that the college kids play.
All right, Megan, believe it or not, tonight marked the beginning of week 12 in the MLL season. Season's been flying by.
I know. Now the season is running away so fast, so we thought we should take a look at some of the top performances from week 11, starting with a close one between the Lizards and the Machine on June 30th.
Yeah, Will Manny had 4 goals and an assist, while Joe Walters added 4 more goals. Paul Rabel chipped in a hat trick. All the points were needed from Manny and company as the Zards eked out a 1-goal win in the 15-14 topping of the Ohio Machine while at home in Hempstead, New York.